Yes, please get your dog hair all over me because I wore black today. Oh. Look, the dog's here. Nobody can see. It's like the invisible animal. See, look. Tail. There is a dog. What are you doing? Can I go back to work? Come here. Come here. Can I go back to work? Oh, see, there's a head. All right. You had all morning to get scratches. All right. Hey, can I do my thing? Yeah. Can I do my thing? Hi, everybody. It's Kelly from Loch Briar Knits coming to you from a very rainy Nova Scotia, Canada. This is episode 52 of my knitting podcast, and welcome to all new and returning viewers. Thanks so much for checking us out or swinging by again if you're a returning viewer, and to anyone who wants to subscribe, which I think it's on this side. You can click the subscribe button. There's also a little bell there that you can click if you want to be notified. And thanks so much for everybody who does that and who likes the videos. It really helps get the word out to grow our viewership. So thank you for that and welcome. Did I say episode 52 or episode 53? It's episode 53. I checked before I came on here. So administration, where to find me, I'll put all that down in the drop down bar, but you can find me most active on Instagram as Kelly L. Boyce. And then there's a Ravelry group, which is Loch Briar Knits, and I just totally blanked on everything else. An Etsy shop also called Loch Briar Knits, where I sell my hand-dyed yarns. So let's get into it. Today is April 22nd. It's Easter Monday. So for those of you who celebrate Easter, I hope you had a great Easter weekend. And for those of you who don't, I hope you had a fantastic weekend. I actually went away out of the city to the summer house for the weekend. So that's why I'm recording on Monday instead of my usual Saturday. Also, you may notice, for you returning viewers, I'm about a week late from my regular podcasting schedule. So I have changed my podcasting schedule, not the frequency, which is usually pretty much every 2 weeks, just the weekend that I do it on. Normally the weekend I do it on is when we have my stepson, and then I kind of shoo my husband and stepson out of the house while I podcast, but that's not always easy to do if they have nowhere to go. So I decided what I would do is I would switch it up and do it on the alternating weekend when we don't have my stepson, and on the Sundays of the weekend that we don't have him, my husband always goes out and spends a few hours with him on the Sunday. So I thought that would be a little more easier to do the podcasting then. So it's a day later, which means I'll have to kind of jam all the editing and all that fun stuff into the Sunday, but whatever. I enjoy it anyway, so it's not a big deal. So that is why I'm coming at you 3 weeks since the last podcast, because I adjusted. This is the weekend that we didn't have him, and also we were away. So, long story short. But that being said, the next weekend that I am to podcast, I actually have to have nose surgery on the Friday before the weekend. So it's nothing major. I'm not getting a nose job. There's not much there to work with. I have a small nose. But I have to get, this is probably, I don't know, hopefully this isn't too gross, but I have to get the blood vessels on the lower part of my nose here cauterized, because I can't get air through my nose very well, and it's really irritating. And after finally going to see a specialist, he said, okay, well, here's the issue. There's nothing wrong with the structure of your nose. There's nothing like you've never had your nose broken or injured where there's something kind of impeding it. He said, you just basically have a small face structure, which I decided to take as a compliment. So he said one of the problems, though, is that there's 3 sets of blood vessels apparently in your nose, and the higher up ones are the ones that really do all the work as far as filtering things and affecting your smell. The ones down here don't really do a whole lot. So he figures if they kind of go in with a needle and inject it sort of inside the lining of my nose and cauterize the blood vessels, it'll open things up and I can breathe again. So it's literally, I have to go under anesthesia for it. But it's only like about a 10-minute procedure. So it's sort of going to be in and out. The only problem is that they're basically burning my nose, like the blood vessels in my nose. They're basically just burning them off. So for a little while after, there can be like gross black and stuff oozing out of my nose. So I'm going to assume none of you want to see that. So if on Sunday that I normally podcast, that's an issue, I'm probably going to skip that weekend and come back on my usual schedule. So there we go. That was a long intro. Welcome, everybody. The trials and tribulations of Kelly. Okay, so today, again, my lemon thriller tea. And I'm not even going to bore you with the fact that, no, apparently, yes, I am. Because here we go. So anybody who watches the podcast regularly knows that my favorite tea is the President's Choice Lemon Thriller tea. It's the only lemon tea I can find that is actually really lemony. Like, I don't like a little hint of lemon. I want that lemon to just like come right up out of the tea and slap me across the face. I want it to be really lemony. Not so much that you're kind of like, but like just a really good, strong lemony flavor. So you actually taste like you're drinking lemon tea. So we went to the summer house and there was no lemon tea. So we had to go and do a grocery run on Saturday. And I picked up some lemon tea and I can't remember what brand it was, but it was like one of the, I don't know, it wasn't Celestial Seasonings. It might have been Bigelow. Anyway, one of the big names. And it hardly had any lemon flavor to it at all. And I'm like, come on, like how hard is it to get some lemon flavor into your tea? So I got home and I'm back to my regular lemon thriller tea. But I mean, come on. So if anybody knows of any like really good lemon teas, drop me a note down there, because if I'm ever someplace that doesn't have Superstore President's Choice brands for tea, I'm screwed. Because I like my lemon tea. I like my lemon tea. That's my rant. Okay, moving right along to the knitting content, which I assume is what you're here for. Look at people. I have finished my bird of a feather shawl. Finally, I'm going to take this behemoth off. It is big. It is like, it's a big one. So let me get going the right way here. Here we are, I think. Am I right here? No, yes. No, here we are. Okay. So, this, I don't even, like, look how long this is. Andrea Mowry does big shawls. So, la, 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 la. Musical accompaniment while we go along. Da-da. So, like, I can't even wingspan it. So, anyways, I love this. And I am, probably today is going to be the only day I can wear it. And the only reason I can wear it Ugh. Today is because it's cold down in the basement. It has been raining for, I forget how many days now. But it's just been like constant rain around here. And we're supposed to get, now we have a rain warning for the next couple of days. And I don't think we're supposed to see any kind of sunshine until maybe like Thursday or Friday, which is disgusting. I feel waterlogged and moldy. It's disgusting. And so I'm going to wear this today and enjoy it while I can, because it's now kind of to the point now that mohair or dog hair, I'm not sure which. The dog did come to pay a visit before I got started, which he usually doesn't. He usually will stop outside of the door, but apparently he needed some scratches first. So, yeah, so I finished it, and this was made out of Juniper Moon, Herriott Fine, Travertine was the colorway. And then this was Crooked Kitchen, who is on Etsy, and this is her Selkie colorway. That's the mohair. I did not enjoy knitting with mohair. It was okay. I don't think I would seek out patterns where I have to knit with mohair anytime soon. I do have another. I bought 2 skeins of this. And I barely had any left of this ball. I don't think I even kept what I had left, because it was like about that big. So it was the perfect amount for this shawl. But when I bought the mohair, I bought 2 skeins, just in case, because actually I wasn't really sure how much hair issues, how much I would need. So I do have another skein, and I have to say, the yarn itself is beautiful. Like, let's see if you can, like, the colors are just they're just soft, I think is like the term I would use. It's just like got a nice soft gray, black. I love it. And it's so soft. Oh my God, it's so soft and lightweight. For the size of this shawl, you would think it would be much heavier, but it's like you're wearing a cloud. It's like really lightweight. And the Juniper Moon, I love their yarn, especially the Herriott Fine is probably my favorite base that they have. And that's their fingering weight. And I have a few different colors in it. I've got the Baha'i Beach, which is a nice blue color, and the green one, which I think is Shamrock, which I'm going to be using on the shawl that I'm designing, which I haven't gotten any work done on at all. I had planned to do it on the weekend, and then I realized in order to do it on the weekend, I'd have to take like a stack of my books with me that have all my stitch patterns in them to kind of play around. And then I thought, maybe I'll just take my sweater and work on that. So that's what I did. So I took today off work, and I took the day off from the day job. So I got up this morning, got up early, not as early as I normally do. I normally get up just shortly before 5 o'clock, but I got up around 6:30, went down to the coffee shop, and I wrote for probably 2 hours, because that's my other job. I'm a published author. So here's the thing. I wrote this scene. First off, I was rewriting this scene, and I got it all rewritten, and I was like, oh, that's much better. And then I was kind of looking at it, and I was looking at the scene before it, and I was looking at the scene after it, and I was like, I don't think I need that scene. So I spent all that time rewriting a scene that in the end I don't need. And this is why writers drink. In my next life, I'm going to take up something much easier, like brain surgery. So yeah, it was sort of a wasted morning because I'm not going to use the scene, but it wasn't a wasted morning in the sense that I realized I don't actually need the scene. So it'll make a better book if I take it out. So anyway, so that was my morning so far. Then I ran some errands, picked up some groceries, and then came here. It's about noon hour right now, and it's raining outside, so clearly I'm not going for a walk. So here we are, podcasting, and that still leaves me the afternoon to get this edited and hopefully get it up by this evening. So anyway, we totally segued there. In other news, we're going to jump into the sock because this is going to be really short. I'm still on the first sock because you'll find out why later in a minute. But I did get the heel done. I do like an eye partridge heel. And it's got like the little garter. I always do the garter edges because I find it much easier to pick up your stitches when you've got the garter edge. I don't know if I can. These socks are for my sister, and they're knit out of my Shut the Barn Door colorway. There's some of these in the shop right now. So, So what was I doing? Oh yeah, here. So I just find it's a lot easier like picking up the stitches here with the garter edge than if I just do kind of the straight slip stitch heel. And I just really like the look of the garter or the eye of partridge. I just like how that looks. Like it's just, I don't know, I like the detail of it. So this is literally, I think, what I've got done since the last time. I think I was ready to start the heel. And I knit that when we were driving, not this weekend, but last weekend to the summer house. So yeah, I gotta get on these. I gotta get on these because I only have about, I'm going to say 6 pairs of hand knit socks that for myself. I've knit like socks for other people. I usually do that at Christmas time. But I only have about 6 pairs for myself. And they're starting to get a little ratty looking because I wear them constantly. And I need to start replacing some of them pretty soon, I think. I know I can kind of darn them, but they're, you know how when you wear them around the house and you wear them in your boots, and you wear them everywhere, the bottoms start to get a little kind of dingy, and you know, all the scrubbing with the soap and soaking them and throwing them in the wash or whatever, it just doesn't get them clean. So they're just starting to look a little ratty looking. So I would like to get a good stash of socks, so that number one, I have plenty to choose from. I'm not wearing the same pairs like over and over again, so they'll last a little longer. But also because I know these ones are going to probably be out of commission pretty soon, and then I'm only going to have a few socks to wear, so I've really got to get on the stick and got to get on the sticks and start knitting more socks. But this one is for my sister, which I'm a little jealous of because I really want a pair of socks in this colorway for myself. So I may have to raid my stash or dye myself a skein or two. So that's literally all the progress I've made on that, which is kind of embarrassing. And that's in my tangled stitch bag, which is a little covered in dog hair. Because for anybody, I have a golden retriever and he sheds. So that's that. But here is what I've made a lot of progress on. And this is my Rachel sweater by Josee Paquin. Da-da-da. So this is what I've been working on. UandIKnit. It's on Ravelry. I love her patterns. I don't know what it is about her patterns, but every time I knit one, I want to knit it again straight away. Like I've done her Phoebe scarf probably 3 times now. I got partway through the Rachel sweater and I was like, I know I'm going to be doing another one. So it's a little wrinkled from being in the bag, but find the front here for you. Yes. So this, back up a little. This is what I have done. People, look at that. I'm almost done. Ah! So, oops. It has this. I'm going to stand up and show you this. It's got this great detailing all the way around it. And then like just kind of this panel here. But it goes all the way around the back, which I love. It just adds like a nice bit of detail on a stockinette sweater. This, I have to tell you, I'm really proud of the picked up stitches for the neck because it's something I struggle with and I've been trying like really to really improve my technique on that, and I feel that I made much progress. So it's not perfect, but so I wouldn't say it's perfect, but you know what? It's a lot better. And it gets better every time. So I'm really happy with how the neck turned out. And then sorry, I'm up, I'm down, I'm up, I'm down. It's got it's got a split hem. So the back is a little longer than the front, which I like. So if you're holding it up, if I can do this, you can kind of tell the back is a little longer. And that's done with short rows. And then, what else can I say? Okay, here's the thing. Even my sleeves are starting to get a little better. Again, it's not perfect, but, you know, I'm hoping blocking will take out any little fiddly bits. So I'm on the first sleeve. Dog hair. She calls, the pattern has them at about 3/4 sleeves. I like my sleeves long, so I'm actually going to keep knitting. I think I probably have about this much longer to go before I start the cuff. And then, cause I like my sweaters to kind of come down to here. I just like the longer sleeve. Oops. Get dog hair on it. So I'm hoping to finish the sleeve today. I got some other things I have to get done today, but I'm hoping I can kind of give this some love and finish it. And then I'll have the other one done. It shouldn't take too long. Like I literally did this yesterday or the day before. So it wasn't too bad. And I'm doing magic loop. I didn't have my, oh my God, I forget what they're called. Addy Flexi Flips with me. And then I couldn't remember if I had the size I needed, and I forgot to check that. So that's a 5. Oh, I did. So I could do that on the Flexi Flips, but I also forgot that I had these that I hadn't tried yet. Which one is it? So I've got the 9-inch circular, but I also have the 12-inch circular in the size that I need in my Jagu, and I've actually never had this opened, clearly. Which I think will be okay. But this one has like the bent tips, I guess, on it. So I don't know. It feels weird knitting with something this size. So I'm going to try the 12-inch to see if it's the right size for the sleeve. And if not, I'm going to switch it out to the 9-inch, which is just like kind of straight. I like doing magic loop. Like, I don't mind doing magic loop, but sometimes like the constantly switching back and forth from one needle to the next is sort of, you just kind of want to keep going. So I want to try these and see if they work. It feels weird because this part is so short. So, but I think it may just take a little getting used to. It might be, I don't know if it'll cramp my hands or not. We'll find out. Anyway, stay tuned for that review. I might try that, switching over to it today. And yeah, so that has pretty much been what I've worked the most on after I finished up this. I kind of put the sweater on hold because I was just so determined to get the bird of a feather shawl like done and off the needles, because this thing has been languishing for a long time. Too long. So yeah, so that's that. I don't know what else I want to say about that other than I absolutely love it. Like, this has been a real joy to knit, and I'm using I'm using Berocco Skye. And it doesn't have a color name, I don't think. No, it's just got, the color is 7670. And there's 273 yards per 50 grams. But I gotta tell you, like, that's some good yardage. I've only used, I think I started a new ball. I still had some left of the second ball, I believe. And then, but I wanted to start, I knew I'd probably run out on the sleeve if I used that on the sleeve, so I just started a new ball for the sleeve. But yeah, like I think I only used 2 balls so far. 1, 2. Oh, maybe not. Oh yeah, no, because I'm on the 3rd. Yeah. So I have, like, I still have that much left of 1 ball. And then this is the one I'm working on now. And then I still have 1 ball left over, which I probably am not going to need to even use. So I'll save that for something else. But I love this yarn. It's got a beautiful drape to it. I think once this is blocked, it's going to be really nice. I mean, I love it now, but I think once it's blocked, it's really going to have a great drape to it. So it comes, I think, I don't know if I made it a little shorter. Well, maybe not. I think once I block it, it's going to stretch out a little bit. So it'll probably come to about like hip, and then the back will like go down a little more. But yeah, so I'm going to give that some love this afternoon and hopefully finish the sleeve. And that's what I've been knitting on. I did take another sweater pattern and yarn with me to the summer house the past 2 weekends, but I haven't used, I didn't cast on yet. But I think I probably will very soon. And this is going to be next up. next up is going to be the Jaycee by Isabell Kraemer. It's a cardigan. I love this cardigan. It's got some really pretty detailing up along here. It's got, it's gonna require some skills which I haven't tapped into yet. I've never done a button band. So, and I think it calls for, a German cast on. I think. Yeah, German short rows. And I thought it was a German cast on. Oh, and backward loop cast on method. I have no idea what that is. So, but she has links to tutorials in the pattern itself. So, hopefully. So this is the yarn I'm using. It's a classic elite yarn. Telluride is the name. And they come in 50 gram balls with 182 yards. It's 82% superfine alpaca, 12% linen, and 6% Donegal. And I don't know if this has a color name. Made in Peru. It's color 2978. So this is what it looks like. You can kind of see it's got like a nice tweedy look to it. It's trying to focus on me. Don't focus on me. Focus on the yarn. Anyway, but it's really soft. I think it's going to make a beautiful cardigan. And I ended up, this was, they had like at my local yarn shop, The Loop, they had a stash of this sort of leftover kind of underneath the counter, or that they didn't have out on display. And I was kind of describing what I was wanting to use. And then they pulled this out and I was like, oh yeah, I've used a skein of this before, not this color, but I used it to make a hat and I loved it. It was like really nice to work with. So that's the plan for the Jaycee sweater. So that's going to get cast on. It's probably going to be cast on before the next podcast, I'm guessing. So we'll see how those new skills go. The only other cardigan I've made was the Veronica, which didn't have any of the like shaping or anything like that. The words, Kelly. It was like you sort of knit it all in one piece and then you stitched it together, but this is a whole different animal. This is like basically your classic cardigan. So I'm not sure how that's gonna go. The button band thing freaks me out a little, but we'll see. We'll see how it goes. If come next podcast I have not cast it on, you'll know it did not go well. But that is about it. I do have in one of my sock yarn baskets. I really need to get going on the sock knitting. So I think my next one for me is going to be, so I've got like a crazy amount, you know, and I've got enough to sort of fill probably 2 more of these of sock yarn. Whatever. I have a problem. So I just have to decide which one that I want to use next for some socks. I'm going to go for some darker colors that maybe in the hopes they won't look quite as dingy. I have a whole lot of self-striping yarn. The majority of it is from Evie Knits. who does like crazy beautiful self-striping yarn. I made my nephew socks out of this, which I was really didn't want to give up this yarn. I really wanted to knit for myself, so I had to go out and buy another skein. This one is a beach ball. It's called Beach Ball. So that would be good for the summer, you know, beach ball. I don't really spend a whole lot of time at the beach, but this is the one that's calling to me for some reason. And I'm not a pink person, but I don't know, I really like this one. But the other one I really like is this like crazy kind of green, yellowy gold one. So I don't know. I've got to get on the sticks. I got to get some, now I got fiber up my nose. I got to get going on the socks. So that's coming up in the queue as well. Hopefully I'll have my sisters done by next podcast. I don't know. And that might be pushing it. But I may also have, if I don't, I still may have one cast on for myself. But actually I still have the ones I started on the Eddie Flexi Flips cast on. So I should really finish those first. And I also have one sock done from my Forest and Skye colorway that I did up a little while ago. And then I just never got onto the second sock, which is unusual. I think I got waylaid by Christmas knitting. But that was like not last Christmas, but the Christmas before. So I'm like way behind getting that done. So maybe I should finish those first. Yeah. Anyway, so I did break my semi-yarn diet. It's not a really strict yarn diet. There's going to be some crinkling here. But I'm trying to kind of use up what I have. So, anyway, whatever. But my yarn shop had these great kits by Sweet Paprika, and I love Sweet Paprika. But these kits are insanely amazing. So check this out. It's like a fade. So it's this beautiful gray color, which is, hang on, eyeballs. I don't know if they have the color. Oh, color is slate. And then these, they had different color options, but this green just like kind of called to me. The color of the fade mini skeins is called Pine Forest. So there is a shawl, and I'm completely blanking on the name, but I'm going to put a link to it here. That I think was the one that they had used to kind of show off the fades. So this would be the main color, and it was, I can't even remember the kind of knitting it's called, but it's like slip stitch. I want to say mosaic. Is that mosaic? I don't know. But you take kind of the main one, and then you fade these ones in with it, and it just creates this really beautiful fade throughout like the shawl. You know, one of these. Anyway, so I'm not sure if that is going to be the pattern that I use for this. I really like it, but I don't know if I love it. But I do want to try that technique. So I don't know. I may choose it. But I'll put a link down below for it. But my my local yarn store, the Loop. So they posted a bundle of different options and patterns that you could use, like doing the faded kit. So I've looked through those, and I've kind of flagged a few that I like. But I don't know. I don't know yet what I'm going to do, but I really want to start. So that might be my next shawl after my own design is started. So that's kind of everything. The other thing I've been thinking is, so this is my, This is a very small sampling of my leftover yarns from, mostly from sock knitting. I think this is all from pretty much sock knitting. That one there, I think, is from my old vine shawl. But the majority of this is from socks. So I've got, you know, that, and then I've got like a whole other container full, like sort of one of these drawers full of like odd leftover bits. And I know I don't want to do a granny stripe blanket because I'm not in love with the way the granny stripe looks. And I'm not a crocheter, so I don't know if I want to learn a new skill right now with all the other new skills I need to learn, doing button bands and backward cast-ons or whatever. So I think what I might do is take some of them I'm going to do scrappy socks with, I think. But I really want to figure out maybe a larger project that I can use them in. So I might do a scrappy blanket, but not the kind of scrappy square blanket. I might just do up like the, what do they call it? I want to say the magic balls. I don't think that's right. But, you know, where you kind of join the one end to the other end of like odd yarn balls and kind of make a seamless join. And I cannot remember the name of it. For the life of me, I can't remember the name of it. But I think the tutorial I watched on it might have been done by Katie from Inside number 23. I'll have to check it out. I'll check her podcast site there and see if that's where I got it from. But it made it very simple and easy to understand. And I'm sure there's other ones around. But I think I might do that and make like a big like gobstopper ball and just start knitting kind of a straight blanket. I might go corner to corner. But I think that would leave kind of too big of an amount of one color kind of in a corner. So I may just like literally do like a gigantor, what's this thing called? Span. Cast on. I don't know how much I'll cast on for it. I may just do a lap blanket. Maybe I'll just do a bunch of lap blankets. Or just like kind of, yeah, I don't know. So I'm rambling now. But my point is that I've just got all these odd bits and it's starting to feel like clutter. Like this is all perfectly organized, but the odd bits are just sort of around. And I don't have room. I don't have an empty one of these that doesn't have yarn in it. So I need to find something to do with it. And start using the stuff up because I'm going to continually have leftover bits. So I don't want it to like just accumulate to a point where it's a little out of control because it feels a little out of control. So that's a project. If anybody knows too of like something that's kind of simple, just sort of straight knitting, that you can use the odd bits for, you know, drop a note down in the comments, let me know. But that is about everything. Yeah, I think that's pretty much everything that's been going on. Life stuff. Actually, I did do a shop update. I want to say 2 weeks ago, maybe. And it was just a small update. I was waiting for my new yarn shipment to come in. So I was using up some odds and ends of the yarn bases that I had left. So it was mostly kind of one-offs in each base as opposed to a larger quantity. But there's some new colorways in the shop. You can find the shop here and I'll put a link down below as well if anyone's interested. And there's also some regulars like Woodsy and Shut the Barn Door and I redid some When Highlighters Revolt, which was a favorite the last time I did that one. And yeah, there's some other things in the shop. So the shop's pretty fully stocked. I am going to do another shop update, but probably not for a few weeks because I don't know if we're going to be around next weekend or not. So yeah, so that's that. So yeah, life stuff. We've basically, my sister and I have kind of been doing a little research on the Camino Trail. We got together and kind of hashed out roughly what our budget needs to be able to afford the trip and kind of how we wanted to do it roughly. We haven't nothing set in stone. When we wanted to do it. So we've kind of like got some beginner stuff started as far as like that. As far as getting things going. My husband and I have our trip planned in October to go to Dublin, which I'm really excited about. And we were kind of looking at the list of places that we wanted to see while we're there. And a lot of them are within a few minutes of where our hotel is. So it's like really strategically located. So that's going to be really good. And that's really about it. We're watching Game of Thrones. We're actually PBRing it on the Sunday night, and then we watch it on Monday. So I literally have to spend Monday with blinders on so I don't get any spoiler alerts. But that's what we're doing. I'm actually reading a book about a woman that did the Camino Trail. It's called What the Psychic Told the Pilgrim, I think, and the author's name is Jane Christmas. She's a Canadian. So I've been reading that. That's kind of just was her experience doing the Camino Trail when she did it for her 50th birthday. So that's about it. I think that's really all that's been going on. We've been trying to get as many weekends at the summer house as possible before my father-in-law shows up, and then we kind of lose it for the summer. So it's not much of a summer house. It's really a spring house. And late fall. So I think we have it for a week or two in August where he goes back to Toronto, but we'll see. So that's it. That's everything. That's all she wrote. So I'm going to let you guys go because I've got a list like this of things I want to get done today. And I also want to finish knitting the sleeve of my sweater. So hopefully you guys are having some better weather than we are here in Nova Scotia. You guys are getting more sunshine and are maybe seeing some flowers. I'm seeing puddles, lots of puddles and muck. So springtime in Nova Scotia. That's what it looks like. So at least on the coast. Maybe it's better inland. I don't know. I'll have to... It's been a while since I've lived inland. So anyway, I will see you guys in hopefully 2 weeks. If not, it may be 2 weeks after that. But if it is, then hopefully I will have plenty of knitting completed to show you. Maybe started on my own design and get some work done on that actually is more than just a diagram. I might actually have some stitches on the needles for that. But yeah, so until then, I hope you guys have a great 2 weeks or more. And I will see you for episode 54 in 2 weeks or more. Until then, happy knitting and we'll see you later. Bye.